Show you some stretching movements to do. And whenever I stretch, I like to stretch just from head to toe, so I get every muscle typically. And on days when you stretch, or I'm sorry, when you exercise mostly your upper body or your lower body, you can focus more on stretching those parts. But it's always a good idea just to stretch from head to toe no matter what exercise you've done, because if you're exercising consistently throughout the week, your muscles could all use a good stretch every time you exercise. So I start with my neck, and you can just stand up nice and tall, pull the shoulder blades down your back a little bit, and you can use your hand to pull your neck to the side. If you stretch out that other arm that's down, it provides even more of a stretch. So I just do that on both sides. Now you want to hold every stretch for at least 30 seconds, between 30 and 60 seconds. Then I bring my arm across, and people have different ways of doing this. They hold it like this. I just grab my arm and pull it across. Again, nice and tall, keep the shoulders down, don't let them hunch. And you're pulling it, and you should be feeling it right here, kind of in your shoulder. The top of your shoulder, the side of your arm, mostly in your shoulder. And then I go overhead to do a tricep stretch. So I'm pulling down on the elbow. Try to keep your shoulders down, nice and tall, nice posture. I turn around. You can see my hand is going straight down my back, like this. So this is stretching this back part of your arm, the tricep. If you want to do a great bicep stretch, find a wall. You can see me over here. Okay, so here's a wall. You're going to press your thumb against the wall and turn and push your body outward just a little bit. And by having that thumb pressed against the wall like this, it will stretch the bicep. So you can do that on both sides. And then I like to do a shoulder stretch. Now there's a couple ways you can do it. One is just to stand up straight and put your arms behind you so you can see my shoulders are going back. My hands are clasped behind me. My fingertips are woven together. Now, you can work toward getting your palms to touch, and that's a great stretch in and of itself, just standing here. The other thing you can do to give a little bit more of a stretch is to bend over and let those shoulders and arms fall over. Now, when you do this, if it's stretching your hamstrings more than your shoulders because you're bending over, bend your knees so that you can get a nice stretch in your shoulders. This is designed to stretch your shoulders, not your legs. A little stretch in the legs is fine, but if it's inhibiting you being able to bend over and really stretch those shoulders, then go ahead and bend the legs. And then I just let my arms drape, and I grab my elbows to kind of weigh myself down, my upper half down. And this will get your hamstrings. I try and keep my legs really straight. And also the low back. So it'll get the low back as well when you have your arms crossed like this. You can reach for your toes, and that'll get your hamstrings a little bit more. But I kind of like to do this because it gets the combination of stretching that low back and the hamstrings. Another great one to do, so we're going to move down into the legs and the lower half of the body, is a quad stretch. So you can grab onto something and stretch your quads, or you can just stand once you're able to balance for an extended period of time. Grab that other foot and really pull, and you want your knees in line with each other. So a lot of people, when they're doing this stretch, will have the knee forward like this. You want the knees in line with one another. And if you squeeze your booty muscles, your glutes, it'll stretch even more, stretch that quad area. You can also lean up against a wall and lunge that back leg to stretch the calves. This muscle going down the back of the bottom part of the leg. You can do that on both sides. And then another great one is downward dog from yoga. So you're just going to press back, really, really push through the shoulder blades. Try to get those heels down, the legs straight. That's going to stretch your back, your legs, a lot of different muscles. Okay, now we're going to go down to the ground to do some other stretches. So to get the hip flexors, I'll kind of do it at an angle here. You're going to lay flat on your back, cross one leg over the other. I'm going to do this. And then reach through, it makes a triangle. Reach through that triangle, grab behind the knee, and pull towards you. Okay, and that's going to stretch all through the hip flexors. And do that on both sides. And then I like to do just a hamstring stretch like this, or you can bend one leg, lean to one side, lean to the other side, go down in the middle, and then I bring my legs together, reach for those toes, kind of pull the toes toward you, or if you can grab your ankles or your shins, however flexible you are. You will get more flexible as you exercise consistently if you stretch every time you exercise. Butterfly, sit up nice and tall, put the soles of the feet together, and really press down on the knees. Not with your arms or anything, but sit up nice and tall and really try to get those knees down to the floor. And then I move my feet out a little bit and bend over my butterfly stance, and that kind of gets another part of the hip flexors. So we're going to work on really improving that hip flexibility. Okay, then a lot of people when they first start this type of workout, specifically the group fit type workouts, because we do a lot of movements in plank position and push-ups and just things where we're putting a lot of weight on our hands and wrists, you will notice that your wrists and your forearms can get pretty sore. So this is a great stretch for that. You're going to kneel and start with your the tops of your hands down on the floor like this, fingertips towards your knees, and just sit back. Okay, and that's going to stretch the top part of your forearm. And then you can move your hands outward, and that makes the stretch more intense. Then you're going to flip your hands over, again, fingertips towards your knees, but palms flat on the floor this time, and lean back, and that's going to get that underside of the forearms. And again, you can move them out to make that stretch more intense. And then you can do wrist circles and ankles as well.